technical. It's amazing.
So welcome everyone. Hi Sharon. I need all your energy today because I have been up, I think I was up until about 1 a.m. and I have had a rough few days because I have about 6 or 7 assignments due this Saturday and an exam next week that I only read one chapter for, but
It's okay. If it's meant to be, you know the answers already.
I'm going to write that at the end of the exam and say, Sharon said that's what's going on. So I need to do well. Cool. So, and between all this, the company I work for, they had a bowling night. So I didn't bowl because I told them I'm not putting my manicure on the line. But I did leave work, go there to show some support for an hour, and then came home. So yes, it's been a very hectic day. It is Wednesday. I feel like we haven't done a webinar in so long because, we probably haven't done a webinar in a while. I've been inundated with things like emails. I finally got my inbox down to 4 unanswered messages. And then now when I looked at it this morning, it's up to 32.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit overwhelmed when I see those numbers because there are 32 emails I have to respond to. So there's that. But you know what? I'm not here for sob stories today. Wait, I heard no audio. Wait. Are there participants on video or no? No, the participants are not on video. So how we're going to do this is myself and Sharon will be on video and on audio, but you are always welcome to type in questions or comments in the, oh, you said, I thought you wanted in. Okay, Charlene, fine.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, what if I had said, yes, we can see you? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, put on a shirt or something.
Yeah, like, come on. What kind of party is this? Oh, hi, Amy, using Charlene's link. Okay, hi, Amy. It's okay. If you had come on here and we would have seen you, we'd have thought you were Charlene anyway, so.
Yeah, it's all right. We wouldn't have known.
Yeah, we wouldn't have. Sharon, before we get officially started, how was your workshop? I can tell you I heard a lot of great feedback from the last one, and there's another one coming up tomorrow?
No, there were already 2.
There were 2, yes.
Coming up in June. So
yes.
But those 2 that were happening this month, they were amazing. I mean, I was really excited, and I was really excited to teach a lot of people this stuff that I mean, I could see in their eyes how much of this information is going to change the way they do things now. And that always gets me excited.
I got some really, really good feedback. I got people emailing me, telling me how much they loved your workshop. So that is great. And that's not all of you guys.
I'll be happy to see those emails so I can be happy about that too.
Okay, fine. Maybe I'll share some with you. See, Amanda said the workshops were fantastic. Look at that.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you, Amanda.
Mm-hmm. So that's to let you all know who, if you've never heard Sharon speak or if you've never been through one of her workshops, understand that you will have to. It will be, like
it's a great experience.
Life-changing.
You'll never feel the same.
Business-changing. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much. Again, I'm trying to look fresh-faced, and I'm going to try to suck some of Sharon's energy because I need it. Yes, I need it. And I'm going to hand it over. Actually, you know what? I'm really bad at this part. I should introduce myself, huh?
Yep. So who are you? Tell us all about you.
Just a little thing about me. I'm Dwaynia. And I started Canadian Small Business Woman, and I love people, which is really weird. I can talk to strangers forever. And this is kind of, I do Canadian Small Business Woman because I really like helping people. And just as how I was saying, how I got really good reviews from Sharon's workshops, those are the types of things that, drive me to continue doing what I'm doing, because when people feel really excited about something that you can do for them, I mean, think about it when you do a task for someone and they thank you and they really feel happy about it, like how you feel inside. So that's part of the reason why I try to go and provide things like webinars like these with fantastic experts like Sharon, who will give you all the information that you will need for your business, because we know that there's a lot of information out there, but it's a matter of trying to weed through some things in order to find that little gem that you might need. Or sometimes you don't know what you need until you get an opportunity to sit down and listen to someone like Sharon, who's going to, possibly show you some things that you really didn't think of for your business, and that's going to help you propel your business. So aside from the webinars, we do have a blog, which I am not looking for any more bloggers right now because I probably have enough bloggers. I have more bloggers interested from emails in the past week than there are days in the month. So right now we have a wait list for bloggers. We do have some live events. So Sharon spoke at our last small business seminar that was in February in Markham. We have a seminar in Niagara in May and one in August in Mississauga. And then we have our Immigrant Women Small Business Expo in Toronto. So I was looking for vendors for those. Vendor spaces are open for everyone. So feel free to reach out. And I have some information that I will interject about halfway through the webinar about some other things going on. Events of ours, but events of others as well. So these webinars are really good. We do record them so that we can give you the opportunity to rewatch them. And so enough about me. I am going to hand it over to Sharon. I'm going to use my screen and run her slides, and she is going to wow you with everything she has. I already have my pen and paper, so be ready.
Good job. Good job. All right. Well, thank you for the introduction. I'm going to take it from here. I hope you like this new setup where I have this like halo around my head to show how pure and amazing I am. Okay. This is just special effects. Okay. So if I move at any point and you're just like, oh, you're blinding us, just let me know.
No, you set it up just right. So I'm just going to
it for at least 6-7 minutes. So, I'm pretty happy with the results.
Oh my gosh.
That's good. Okay, so let's get this show on the road, right?
All right, I'm just pulling up your presentation because I switched computers and realized that I didn't put it on this one, but I have it in less than 2 minutes.
Look at me dancing. Do you like the color of my room? It's yellow, like your shirt.
I love yellow. It's a very happy color.
Yes, it gives me a lot of energy. That's why my office room is yellow.
Ah, method to your madness. Colors do mean a lot.
Actually, yes, and there's a small tip right there. Yellow is often related to energy, success. So these are two things to get people drive going usually.
Yep.
Also, it's a color that makes people hungry, so it's also related to food.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Can I increase my volume? I don't know that I can. You can't hear me well?
I think the last time we had this, if you had headphones.
I don't have headphones.
Or if
I'm actually really close.
If the person listening has headphones, that might help.
Oh, plug in headphones and you can hear. Okay. Thank you, Amanda, for the technical tip.
All right. There we go.
Everybody's ready? Yeah. As always. She's funny. Okay, so that's great. Okay, so let's start. Thank you for joining me. I'm excited to have you all here. Sound is better now. Awesome. Yeah, feel free as I go along to ask questions. I'm more of a people's person, and I need some feedback to make sure you're with me, that if something is not clear, then I can repeat it or change the way I address it. Otherwise, it's like talking to a non-existent person, which some people say you need to take medications for. So, so help me out here, okay? So, well, some of you are here. I mean, I maybe know you already, because you may have I may have seen you before, or maybe this one of my workshops. So you guys may be hearing some things that I've told you before, but the good thing is it's always good to hear it again, because what I have to teach is something that is so it's so fundamental that it's important for you to understand some of these core ideas so well that it's okay that you're hearing them a little bit more. But I also like to cover the basics with people that never heard that before. So don't feel bad if you hear something again. Okay. You're all here because you all know that you can do better with whatever it is that you're doing right now. Right? I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be here to listen and to learn something new. So coming with that belief, what does that mean to you to do better? I mean, what does that mean? Does it mean like that you want to make more money? Do you want to be more successful? You want your business to be bigger? You want to find more people to hear you or buy from you? It's up to you to decide what it means to do better. And I'm sure that you are very good at what you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be starting a business or be in business. You might be even the best at what you do, but you're still working very hard. Okay? So how is it that you're working so hard to make sure that your current and your potential clients can see how hard you're working and how good you are? You can change to the next slide. Just so you know.
Yes.
I made notes for myself when the next slide is coming because I don't remember my slides. So if I look up, it's because I'm checking what's the next slide. Sorry. So yeah. So you feel like you are maybe stretched over a million different tasks, right? That everybody's telling you how one thing is more important than another, and that there's going to be the one thing that's going to make things better for you, whether it's, find a better way to set up your email or do a better newsletter or advertise this or advertise that or just join this one thing. This will solve everything. This is never the case because none of these things is not the one answer you need, because they end up taking more of your time, right? When you're like, oh, so maybe I should just take on, let's say, I don't know, doing ads on Facebook, and that adds to your task list. Now you have Facebook ads on your head. So it takes more of your time to do these things than actually doing what you're good at, which is the reason you started your business. And the reason that you're working so hard and none of it really makes a difference is because you're missing a huge and essential part of your growth. That's my next slide. You are missing something huge, okay? It is not about the tools that you're using, and it's not about flyers or ads or more posts on social media, and it's not even about working harder. Okay, it's actually none of those things at all. The missing piece you need so badly is that you may have a business, but you don't have a brand. It's the next slide. Okay. The next slide after that. You need branding. You may have a business, but you don't have a brand. Now, I know you're thinking that you do have a brand, right? Like you probably have a logo, you probably have a website, you have colors, right? This is branding, right? You probably have a brand, but you don't, okay? Because a brand is none of those things, okay? Branding is way beyond the way you look, okay? So, and it's not your fault that you don't really understand that. It's because people use the word branding to describe so many different things, to describe selling, to describe advertising, to describe logos, to describe colors. They just use the word branding. So it's just being used everywhere now. So the reason why you think branding might be graphic elements is just because people are using it to describe that now. Usually because they think it sounds more professional, like, oh, I'm doing my branding. Sounds better than I'm designing my logo, right? But a brand is an identity that is beyond your look. Next slide. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with this. I made a list, but it's clearly more. A brand is an identity beyond your look. It's a feeling and it's a connection. And I know we covered a lot of that before, so I'm trying to give you the highlights of that. But what kind of a connection are you actually looking for? That is something that you need to realize. The connection is not the same for everybody. What you mean to your target market is not the same for every business, for every target market. That's why I always say you need to know that before you even establish any kind of decisions about your brand, whether it's your look or your systems or your service list. You need to know what kind of connection you're trying to create. And if you have a smart branding strategy, then you are the one controlling that connection. You know what I mean? Because branding is the art of controlling perception. That's the next slide. Branding is the art of controlling perception. We talked about that, but a lot of people don't get it. But the thing is, it means that everything that you do, everything needs to send the same message. Okay, what is everything? Everything is really, really, really everything. And your message is not your product or your service. It never is. So when I ask you, what is your message? And you're answering me something like, well, I help people to solve this problem with this, and I make sure that they have it for a cheaper price or whatever. That's not a message. That's your service. And if you don't know how you're going to connect with your clients, you don't have a clear message. Without a clear message, they have no reason to care for you and to connect with you, okay? So when I say that everything needs to send the same message, I think that's the next slide. When I say that everything needs to have the same message, is really your look, your customer experience, your wording, right? The words that you use to describe anything, your marketing strategies, your style, right? You can have different styles. It can be honest, it can be vulnerable, it can be sweet, it can be aggressive, it can be pushy and inspiring. There's so many ways to do this. Your social media posts are relevant to that. Even the paper that you print your business cards on. That's what I mean by everything. Even the kind of paper that you're choosing can say something about your message. Now, the reason why everything needs to be aligned, and that's the next slide, because if one of those things doesn't align with your message, you are confusing your target market, okay? And a confused mind will not buy, okay? If you're sort of giving a message, if you're sort of making an impression, if it's not clear what you are about and how you want to connect with your clients, they won't buy from you. They will go and think and compare, and that's the problem. And that's why branding is the first thing that you need to do before you decide about anything else, okay? So we're gonna focus on one element today. That was sort of like the intro, especially for those of you who may have not heard my spiel about branding, because only the intro I can do for like 3 hours on its own. Because you need to know that it's important. You need to know it's fundamental. You start right from the beginning, but I can't teach you everything all at once. Especially how to completely take over your market in 1 hour. But authenticity is a huge aspect of finding your brand, fine-tuning your brand, and making connections with your clients. Because, for example, one of the reasons that most small businesses are not able to create a strong brand for themselves is because they don't really have an idea of what their message is. And I've seen it in many, many workshops and my lectures and everything like that. I ask people what their message is, and they don't really know to tell me what it is. They really don't. Even in my last workshop, I was really trying to get people to just what is the actual message? But none of them actually had a message. And that message is everything, okay? So when you tell me what your product is, that's great. I mean, that is what you're selling, but it's not a message. And if people don't have that message, and they're not gonna have a relationship with your brand. A lot of small businesses, they struggle with figuring out their message because they're trying to be something they're not, okay? They're trying to pretend to be what they think their target market wants based on, maybe the competition, right? Maybe they say, this is what the other people are doing, then I should be doing the same thing. So that's probably what the people want to see. So they're trying to be something they're not, and that's why they don't really have a clear message or a unique message. And when you're trying to be someone or something that you're not only a poor image something else, but your clients can see that. They can feel that. They can feel that you're fake, that they can feel that you're not exactly what you're saying that you are. They can tell your frame is what? What? I didn't see what the message was. Was that for me?
I don't see. You probably have a message sent to you, but I don't see any messages.
Something is freezing. I'm frozen.
I can see you. No, okay, don't be frozen like that.
No, okay. Okay, that's fine. It's probably gonna be okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Where was I? Okay, yeah. So people buy from companies that make them feel good, right? We all know that. Not only just buy from companies that make them feel good. Any kind of connection, if it makes you feel good, that you feel good about whatever it is that they ask you to do, buy or donate or participate or whatever it is. It's all an emotional decision. And when you're not authentic, then you actually make them not like you. And if they don't like you, then they're not going to buy from you. So when you are not authentic, you are not a strong brand. You're a company, and that's great, and you're maybe like a so-so brand, but you're not authentic. You're not a strong brand because you don't have a clear identity. Okay? It's sort of like you can fall in love with someone, but if somebody comes along who's sort of like the guy that you fell in love with, he's not the same, or he's sort of like him. He maybe has the same job or same humor. It sort of looks like him, but it's not him. So you need to find that kind of connection by being you, not trying to be something else. And many small businesses believe that that being a small business is a disadvantage, but you cannot be more wrong about that. So actually, that's my point right here. It is the best it has ever been for small businesses. For real, it's the best it's ever been, because you have so many free tools. You can reach out to millions of people. Do you think small businesses could have done that before? You have free tools to get to millions of people all over the world. And the big guys, right, like the big companies, they're actually using the same tools you are using. Do you know what I mean? And I'm talking at this point, for example, like let's say Facebook, okay? You're on Facebook, your business is on Facebook, but Apple is on Facebook. You know, they have a page. They're making connections with their clients through Facebook. This is all a free platform that reaches so many people. So you're at the same place where they are. Before it was different. A small business would advertise in a local newspaper, and a big business would be on TV, right? Completely different. They don't even touch each other. Now you're playing the same game, and you can actually win it better. You can play it better than the big guys, because the big guys, they hire a bunch of teenagers to manage their social media. But you can actually be on social media and connect with your clients right there through being yourself, through being authentic, because people now want that kind of personal touch that makes it special for them, that makes it meaningful for them. So when you are being you, when you're being authentic, they love that, because they actually care about you more, right? Because you can do a better job than the big guys. For example, like, I think it was, okay, in my last workshop, there was a woman there that she's very talented. She's doing her own business. And she was, there's things that I was telling her that she should do, like, share about, her family or what she's doing, or how it is that she's creating her stuff, the personal aspect of it. She says to me, "Oh, I didn't think anybody would want to see that." And I'm just like, when you go see other companies, doesn't it make you buy more from them when you know what they're about, when you see their process, when you know their background? She's like, "Oh yeah, I like them more. I buy more from them because of that." I'm like, exactly. Because being you is an advantage. So being a small business is not something that you need to hide. It's lovable. It's great. It's inspiring, right? So don't hide the fact that you're a small business. That's my next slide, right? What is that? Amanda said something. It was too fast. I didn't read all of it. So yeah, don't hide the fact that you are a small business, okay? Or a passionate individual, or have a unique story, or you got over something.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. There we go.
Okay. So anyway, all these things that you think can be a disadvantage, being small business or being maybe just on your own, right? Like maybe a freelancer, or trying something new, or discovering, like, or maybe starting a movement, or you really care about something, or maybe you're so overwhelmed with things and you still want to have a business. All of these things that sound like a disadvantage, you need to use them for your benefit. How do you use it? And that was a slide before, right? It was controlling perception. Branding is controlling perception, right? So whatever you think is not that great might be exactly the reason while people will love you, right? Oh, in the last yesterday, right? I was emceeing the Toronto Business Expo, and Amanda told me that people were more interested in her personal journey about what she had to go through and like with her health or whatever, than actually, like, you know, physically what she's offering. Because of that story, because of that, people connect with her. They care about her. They care about her journey, and suddenly they want to work with her. Because why else would you choose someone? There are so many people doing the same thing out there as you. You might be amazing, but they don't know that. They'll only know that once they actually work with you. But they will actually stay with you and care for you if they know your journey, they know your story. Oh, sorry, there was a question and I missed it. Was there a question from Amy, who is really using someone else's link? Did I miss it?
I am not seeing any of these, so hopefully you are, because I don't see the chat function.
How do I see them then? Because I think I saw like a thing coming up, but I don't.
You just hover at the top of your screen.
Yeah. Is that the Q&A?
There's a Q&A, but there's also a chat.
Oh, that's not that. Where's my chat?
I didn't see anything in the Q&A. And
oh, I found it. Oh, but it's
covered. Oh, here it is. That's yeah, good. I see the chat.
Let's look at this. I am the director of joy at our company. The goal is to install an clients that truly care about how their experience is with us. Okay, that's cool. What is that? An intro for something? Was that a question?
You know, she's saying she is. Oh, so her job is director of joy. So So her goal is to convince the client,
give joy to the clients.
Yes, and like to care about their experience.
That's, first of all, that's an amazing title. Okay?
Director of joy. I like it.
What company is that has that kind of company? Right? Yes. What is the company that they have a director of joy?
I love that.
The bridegroom. Okay. Oh. First of all, that's very understandable because that's all about joy, right? Yeah. They're smart enough. No. Sorry, no. What? It's the
Bridge Group.
What do they do with the Bridge Group? That's fantastic that they have something like that. Guys, that's brilliant. Financial services. Well, you know what? That actually makes sense because most of us don't make financial decisions based on how logical it is because none of us understand or interested in understanding financial stuff. My financial advisor was right here today and was asking me a bunch of questions that in my head, my answer was just like, just do it and don't ask me those questions, right? So it's actually fantastic that they have someone making sure that they're connecting with their clients on an emotional level, because financial issues can be stressful, annoying, unwanted, right? I proposed this position to the company, and they took it. That's amazing.
That's good.
That's a smart company. No, for real, because she's right about it. She said, soften the edge of finances have, and it's true. It's not a desirable subject. It's for most people, it's stressful. Even when they make money, it's stressful, right? Like they don't really want to deal with it. So I get it. That's fantastic. Thank you for teaching me that there's a title like that in one company. I might use it for my It's from my other lectures, actually. Anyway, I'm going to close the chat now. So true. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to close it now just so I can see what's happening on the screen. Anyway, where was I? I was at, yeah, so don't hide the facts. Don't hide your disadvantages. Whatever you perceive to think that's a disadvantage, that is something that your clients won't be interested in or never want to hear about, that actually can be the reason why they will love you. Okay, it's just like when you love someone and you love all their imperfections, right? It makes it intimate, it makes it personal, it makes it unique. So because branding is the art of controlling perception, is you can show these negative aspects of you in a positive light. Okay, for example, if you are a young entrepreneur and you feel that being young makes you look green or unsure or without experience, you control that perception. The perception is that young equals not sure, not clear, not really, doesn't know what he's doing, right? But really through smart positioning, right? Smart positioning, that's the idea of branding. Then you can being young can be something very, very positive. And I said that to one of my clients once, because when you are young, it means you have more energy, you're more eager, right? You're eager to prove yourself, you're eager to find more clients, to make sure they're satisfied. You have more time on your hands, right? Than people who maybe have families to take care of, kids to take care of, or who knows what, right? You're young, you're free, you can do whatever you want, you can travel more, you can take care of everything. You have fresher knowledge in mind, right? Maybe you just finished school and you know the latest stuff, right? Then compared to someone who maybe learned it 20 years ago, it's kind of outdated.
Someone said, how would you translate that for the older businesswoman?
I'm going to get to that. But that's just an example, right? This is you think it's a disadvantage. It's really an advantage. So on the other hand, right, if you feel like maybe that you're an older business person, and you feel like maybe you need to pretend to be younger than you are, so people like you more, or maybe it will appeal to your target market, don't. Right? Don't be something you're not. Don't try to pretend that you're younger or hip or whatever. Be real. It's more lovable. So if you're positioning yourself properly, then old actually means experience, a lot more experience, and knowledgeable, right? Ready for everything. I've seen it all, right? That's something you can say instead of old. Like, yeah, maybe the younger ones, they don't know what they have in mind. Like, you can say the younger ones, they don't know. They're starting to think it's easy. It's not easy, but I've seen all the struggles or the different things that can happen. So I'm ready for it already. So
another example that I usually use, especially at my immigrant expos, a lot of immigrants, they feel like, being an immigrant is a negative. I think the total opposite, because I'm an immigrant and I'm not going to think it's negative. And I usually tell them you have a lot of things. If you're from a country that the mother tongue's not English, you are now multilingual. If you move to this country, you now have more than most people, a better sense of cultural intelligence. Mm-hmm. And that is huge in corporations, because a lot of these companies in this multicultural city still don't have like a cultural intelligence plan in their organization. So if you're someone who's coming here, there's so many things that you can teach others. And it's, oh, I have an accent. Yes, but that accent makes you unique. You now sound different than a lot of other people.
That's right. I love that. First of all, I'm an immigrant too, okay? And I can give you some example of opportunities that came to me recently, okay? Because I was born in a different continent and worked in different continents, and then I came to North America. Now I have opportunities to help branding companies that come from, let's say, Turkey or Kosovo or whatever. They come here. They want to do a lot of trade work with Canada, but they don't know how to reach this target market. I know both markets. I know the European markets and I know this market. So this is something you can show instead of saying, oh, well, I'm an immigrant. I don't know. I come from a different country. If you're an immigrant, you already did a lot more for yourself than people who were born here. Because there are people who were born here and don't have a business and don't work on their branding and don't join webinars to learn more about what they need to do. So you probably have the personality that it takes to build a strong business, because it takes a strong personality to take your roots from a different country and move. So that's something you can put in, like perception. Like, this is controlling perception. You think it's scarier, it's harder for immigrants. It's not. And honestly, yeah, the thing with the accent, it's super lovable.
But Amanda, to other people, you do have an accent.
Yeah.
You don't have an accent.
My accent is like a trademark, right?
Yeah.
Accents are sexy. Absolutely. That's what people say to me all the time.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's why I keep it. That's why I keep it. So it's true. Basically, anything that you think is something that is in your way, that's the reason why people won't like you or are not going to be as good as you want, use it to your advantage. Because for example, oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to say from my other workshop. A lot of women, they think that they need to hide the fact that they're family, that they have a family, that they have kids, or like, oh, people can't associate me as like being a family woman, but also being a strong businesswoman. They feel that that side is like weakness, like I'm home with the kids, so I don't have time for work, or it looks like I'm not serious about what I do. It's not, you know what? That's what men will maybe have you believe, okay? Probably because they're jealous that you can do both so well, okay? It's so lovable to see a woman that is so fierce that she would have a business and will take care of her family. So don't hide it. Show it off. Be proud of it. If anything, you're helping other women who feel exactly like you, that they can't do, like that they don't want to show it and it's not okay. It's amazing, because we all know that women are basically superheroes, okay? Like, basically. You guys have so much, like, and I had no idea how like amazing our powers are till I was pregnant, but we have powers, like superhero level powers, okay? So
I just thought of something to throw in, because in your slide it says be you and allow your clients to connect. Yeah. I mean, it does drive me nuts when people aren't authentic, and I try to equate it to, picture an actress on set, and that actress is playing a role that is totally not her, but then she has to carry through that role all the time. Think of how exhausting that is.
Oh my God, that was the example I gave last time at my workshop. You guys ever watch X-Men First Class? I'm specific on this one because I'm a big superhero fan, as you can tell. As you may can tell.
Yes, I see that.
Okay. I don't know where to point. Anyway, so X-Men First Class, if you don't know it, there's the character Mystique. She's got her powers that she can change to different people. She looks like a different person. And she's embarrassed about the way she looks on her natural way because she's blue. So all the time she looks pretty, like, like normal with blonde hair. That's what she does. And there's at some point in the movie that another guy is telling her, you're wasting your energy and power on pretending to be someone you're not. Imagine how strong you would be if you don't have to focus on that. Okay? So that's for you guys. Instead of trying to play this game like you're a different whatever, bigger business than you really are, or, oh, I'm all business, I'm not a family woman, all of these things that you're trying to hide is a waste of energy for you. People want to get to know you. They want you to be you. It's so lovable. With the issues and with the struggles and with the conflicts, people love it. It's basically like a reality show. People watch a lot of reality shows.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I think I mentioned that before. One time I posted on my social media that before I went for a meeting, like a business meeting, I had to breastfeed my baby. Okay. And as I was doing it, dressed up and like to go for a meeting, I thought it was hilarious. So I took a picture of it and I posted it. I never got so much love on social media as much as with this photo. Because not only I was being honest and I was being me and I wasn't trying to pretend like I'm just a businesswoman. I was like, no, I'm a mom and a businesswoman. And this kid is a priority before I go to my meeting. It's also empowering for other people, right? That are maybe ashamed or worried or whatever. So be an example, be exciting. They will love you for it. Yeah, this with this example. So when you're faking or you're promising your clients something that you can't really give them, right? If you're faking it, you're promising an experience that you can't really provide, because they want to connect with you. People want to find a business that they would work with for a long time, and they don't really want to keep looking. So don't have this idea in mind that you just need to give them a reason and they won't continue working with you. They rather not. They rather find one business they're really happy with and they made a connection with, and then they won't look for any other businesses. Basically, like, and I've mentioned that before, it's like a romantic relationship. If you're happy in your relationship, you don't constantly comparing who else is out there. If you're not happy, you will be comparing. But if you're happy and you feel like that the other person cares about you or that company cares about you, then you're not going to constantly be like, oh, but this guy looks nice, but this person looks cool, right? Yeah, and even like when you date a person and you discover that they're fake, how do you feel, right? How would you feel if you date someone for a little while and then suddenly they act completely different, or like they promised you something that's not what they are? You feel tricked, right? You feel tricked or cheated or stupid. And I mean, is that what you want for your clients? Is that what you want them to feel when they discovered that you're not authentic? So yes, be you and allow them to connect. And this example here is an example I gave at the seminar, if you were there in Markham. Avis is obviously a big company. It's very known, but they started as a very small company. They weren't big in the market. And their slogan that they still use to this day is "We try harder." And it's based on these original ads from their first campaign that became so famous that they teach it in marketing schools. So one of them, as you can see, Avis can't afford not to be nice, or not to give you a new car, and blah, 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 blah. Because when you're not the biggest in rent-a-cars, you have to try harder. So this is controlling perception. They're saying, if basically, right, we're not the biggest ones. I think the biggest ones were Hertz that time. So we're not the biggest one. Why would you go to the one that's not the biggest one? Because they will try harder, because they value you more as a client, that your experience will be perfect with them because they're smaller. That's controlling perception. The perception is that smaller means that they're not as good. They say that's exactly the opposite. Okay? And that's why these ads became so famous. And you are exactly in the same boat as a small business. As a small business, you care more. We know we care more because every client to you is more valuable. So show them that, right? Let me check the chat. I saw some stuff here. What kind of experience should not be shared in your view? So I'll give you an example. Let's say some things that don't serve your message, which is why I started with your brand is your message. Okay, the example I gave, for example, in my workshop, the woman that I was helping her with that, she does stuff for brides. And I told her that if, like, not to put personal posts like, you know, marriage is the worst thing ever, or like, you know, like, oh, I hate my husband, is driving me crazy. These things are maybe not a great message if you're selling things for brides. Okay, so yeah, it might be her personal experience, but maybe something that's not worth sharing because it doesn't align with her message, which is, you know, invest in your wedding day because it's a unique experience and your love will last forever. Mm-hmm. See my point? So yes, you need to be smart about it. You don't have to share every single thing. Also, don't nag about negative stuff all the time. That's also something that some people tend to do that on social media. They kind of act as if it's like their own private support system. So yeah, once a week or once every day, they go and they say, oh, life is so hard, or like, you know, oh, my anxiety is like picking up. Oh, I can't believe I didn't get the right cup of coffee. That can be annoying. Okay, we're not your therapists, and we don't have to listen to that, right? So my point is this: you can be you can be personal, but be selective. Just be smart about it, because what I said before, it's strategic positioning. you need to think about your message, and you need to think about controlling perception, which means basically everything that you want to say, you can say it in a way that serves your message, serves your brand, serves your personality online. It's the same it's the same idea, it's the same thing that you want to talk about, but you serve it differently. That's branding, basically. That's the art of branding.
There's a question from Zainab that says, how can you build your personal brand from the company brand?
So you mean if you work for a company, they have a brand, but you need to create a personal brand, or is it like a different brand, like a different company brand?
Or maybe she has her own company and she's creating her brand, but the company brand and her brand should really be.
So personal brand versus business brand, that's the question?
Probably. I think it's along those lines.
Okay, so I wouldn't say that they don't have, like, most of the time they have to overlap, right? Like, because the personal branding is supposed to serve your business. So you don't need to make it completely separate at times. But I mean, the question is, like, how do you make them work together? Is that sort of what she's trying to say?
Zainab, chime in if you can.
Yeah, like help me understand the question a little bit. Oh wait, there's something. I recently saw a vegan YouTuber get outed. What? For eating fish. Did she share that with her followers? Oh yeah, now so many don't trust her. That's right. It's a great example for being authentic. Yeah, you can't tell other people what to do, and you can't really live it yourself, obviously. That's very important. You're trying to create a fan base. They care about you for that reason, for that connection. And then you're like, oh, I ate something, oh, she ate fish. And people are just looking for a reason not to like you anymore. So don't make it so easy for them. And whoever asked the question about the personal branding, feel free to ask it again so I can see it, because I don't see it on the chat and I don't know what you mean.
It says, in wealth management firms, you can build your personal brand while you're building your own book of business.
I'm still confused by the question.
Me too. So you work for, Zainab, let me understand. You work for a wealth management firm and you are representing them. So they already have their brands because they're a wealth management firm. So you're supposed to create your own personal brand that's going
so
to.
So she can get more clients? That's the
probably.
Question? Okay, so the question is how you would do that?
She said yes, exactly. Yeah, she wants to know how that would work.
Okay, so first of all, and that's from experience, you have to know what their branding rules are. Because if it's a big company, they probably have pretty strict rules on what you're allowed to do and how you're allowed to put yourself out there. So that would be your first step. Find out what your limitations are, because there might be more than you think. Okay, I worked with someone, she started her own thing, she was getting herself out there and like even like meeting with celebrities and stuff, and she could not share anything of that because they wouldn't allow her. Even every post that she had to do on social media, she had to run it by them to make sure it's approved, which sometimes means that she would get an answer a week later, and this may not be relevant to the point or like the timeline, right? So that would be your first thing to figure out, what your limitations are. But if you want to create a personal brand that is separate than your company brand, you always need to ask yourself two major questions, because without those things, I can't even give you advice because I don't know the answers. You need to know the answer. One, what is your target market, right? Who they are, what they want, and not just like anybody could be my target market, or like, you know, most of them are around the age of whatever. That's not the question for real. The question is your ideal target market, the one that you can help the best way you can possibly imagine. Okay, and then you need to know what is their lifestyle, what do they afraid of, what did they want to do, what are their dreams, what are their goals. Because your next question would be, what is your message? And that message is that message is actually more important that if you know the first question, if you know the answer for the first question, then you know your message, because you know what you're appealing to, their drive to success, to their happiness, to their I don't know, needs to be loved, whatever it is. These are the basic needs that you need to address. That's your message. Anyway, so let's continue with that. Anyway, usually I talk a little bit about myself to tell people who I am and what I do. So I'm going to do it really quickly, just so you care a little bit. I have a lot of experience. You can move to the next slide. There's some pictures of me and stuff. I have a lot of experience. I work with companies all over the world. I have a segment on national TV coming up next month on a regular basis. I work with major brands like Diadora, Skechers, Infinity Cars, Lily Diamond. I don't know, like lots of company. The thing is this, even though I work with really major clients, my true passion is to help small businesses grow, because you guys need this information a lot more than them. They have the money to figure out how to do this the perfect way and to make mistakes, but you have limited resources, limited time, limited energy, and limited amount of money. So you got to be a lot more smart and creative than they need to be. That's why I get my message out there. And I always look for amazing businesses that I can find and maybe like create something amazing with them, because the reason I teach all this time is because I want to find people that I think and they believe in themselves that they can do something amazing with their business. Because I know you think you're talented at all, but it takes quite a drive and a lot of fire to get what you want, okay? So I'm very picky with the people who I work with, which is why I teach, and I want to find these amazing people that can actually carry them to the next level. So my point is, you need to have the fire in you if you want to see this kind of success, if you want to be a big, strong brand that people come to, because opportunities will come to you when you're a brand. So if you got to have that fire, and you can only light that fire with a purpose and a message. So what I want you to do is go home and you're home. Go and think about these things. Think about your message and your purpose when you start your business, okay? That matters more than anything else. When you know that answer so well, we can start building an amazing brand, okay? So it doesn't start with a logo. It doesn't start with other things. It starts with your great message and purpose. So yes, if you have any more questions about that, I'm happy to tell you. What I want to mention today, since we're very close to the end, is that I have another workshop coming up. It's to actually teach to make better connections with clients, make better business partners, and welcome more exciting opportunities. Because I feel with a lot of people I work with, they don't know how to make connections even with people that they meet. Connections will lead you to everything that you want, even if it comes to networking. In the last 4 months, I made huge jumps in things, including that national TV segment, only through networking and make connections with people. Personal connections, not business connections, okay? And the way you do it is with confidence, okay? So I have a workshop that I created for women only, ladies, women only, because you guys can kick ass at that. Men, forget it. Let's leave them out of the game. You guys can do this amazing. Confidence is sexy, okay? And what I can teach you then, it will open doors for you that you can't even imagine, like for real. And the best part is, you can win an interview on national TV with me. Yeah, I think somebody's interested. Okay, it can, because the person that I feel can make the best progress in that kind of workshop, I will interview them on my segment on national TV. And by the way, it's not about just being on TV, because I will teach you how to leverage that to build your brand, okay? Which is the piece that most people fail on doing. How to leverage being on TV to become an authority in your field. And also, I will give you, you can also win a 2-page article in my magazine, which is now I'm the senior manager of. And it's a printed magazine, and it has a reach of over 100,000 readers. Yes, that's just recently happened. How did it happen? You know the answers? I'm going to tell you right now. It's connection. You make connections, opportunities like that come to you, which is why I decided to make this workshop. And also by popular demand, basically. Had people coming to me, begging me to teach them how to do that. So ladies, this is your time. I'm going to teach you how to do that. So if any of you have been to my workshop, you know, I keep them very intimate. They're very small. So I can actually help every single person and not just, you know, send it to the air. So the space is always very limited, which is why I have to book it really in advance. It's going to be in June. It's Saturday, June 1st in Toronto. It's going to be in Toronto. And the price for my workshop is usually $497. But if you book your spot by the end of this week, which means I can actually book the location, it will be just $297. Okay? All right? This thing, you don't even understand how much more money it's worth. Okay? Because it's an amazing opportunity. I'm going to teach you things that people literally come to me after and be like, how do you do that? Well, you're going to have a chance to find out how I do that, and you get a chance to be interviewed on TV and be in a magazine. Okay, so only those of you who feel like you can kick ass, you can send me an email and tell me if you want to be in the workshop. Those of you who are still waiting, figuring out how to do this, maybe someday we can work on your branding, but you're clearly not ready for it. So I'm only looking for the people who feel like they have the drive, the fire, and they believe in themselves and their company. Okay? So just send me an email if you're interested. There's no commitment. But the truth is, if you think that this is expensive, then just think for a second how much money you're spending by working hard and not getting results. Because being on national TV, guys, that's worth a lot of money. People pay thousands of dollars for these kind of interviews. So I'm happy that I can offer these kind of opportunities, but only for the people I feel are totally kicking ass.
I will also send this information to everyone who registered for this webinar. So between tonight and tomorrow, I will have the replay available, and I will send the link to the replay as well as Sharon's information for you to register for this workshop.
I hope you're going to be there because I would love to interview you.
I saw the date and I was like, darn it. We'll talk.
Okay.
We will talk.
Well, honestly, if there's going to be a lot of subscribers by the end of the month, then we might change.
You might have to do another one.
Yeah, exactly. We're just going to do another one, so don't worry.
Yes, because you know what? I need to be at these workshops. I love learning. And Sharon has so much information, and you don't want to miss out. Amanda did say she's fantastic, so don't hesitate. She is fantastic. She does have a wealth of knowledge, and there are a lot of things I like about Sharon. One, she's an expert. Two, she delivers it to you plain and straight. There's no fluff necessary. That's what resonates with me.
Well, I also really care about what I do, so I don't just give like advice that I don't feel like you can take and do something with. I get really emotional about it. Like it's a personal thing for me. So I want to make sure that you guys do amazing. When you do amazing, I get so excited. You have no idea. I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. So I sometimes care more about my client's business than them, and then I'm like, you guys need to care a little bit more because I'm really excited and you're not that excited. This is amazing.
Elizabeth says, yes, she is. Does anyone have any questions or any comments?
Yes, please. Any questions?
While you're formulating questions, I do have to tell you there's a Better Business Expo tomorrow. It is being held, and I just want to make sure I'm going to tell you the correct information, but it is being held at Le Parc Convention Center in Thornhill from 2 to 7. And if you are available and you want to attend, just use the promo code SBW19. I will type it in the box, and you can get complimentary admission. And I can probably try to send you the link as well. I'm not sure if it will work, but there is I don't know if it's going to work. But I will try to send you the link. But if you go to Better Business Expo, you should be able to register for that. I'm going to try to see if this link works. There's the link. And here is the promo code. It is SBW19. If you are available and you're looking for some more business tools, it's the Better Business Expo. But let's talk back to Sharon because, you know, she's here. She's going to deliver.
Absolutely. So yeah, if anybody has questions about how to become more authentic, either online or whatever, just, you can ask it now, or you can feel free to send me an email if you want. But it's just more engaging when I'm right here, guys.
Oops, sorry, I put the code in a different chat. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get it to everyone. My apologies. Panelists and attendees, here we go. There's one thing that I keep hearing people say, and I cringe when I hear it, and it's fake it till you make it. Yeah, I do that. I do that.
I know why they say it, but I don't think that's the right way to say it.
Yes.
Like, I don't think that's exactly the point. The point is not fake it. It's sort of like believe that you deserve it, and then it will happen.
I like that better.
Because I mean, it's not as catchy, so it might need fine tuning, but that's the point. The point is this: the fake it till you make it is because people don't seem to believe in themselves, so they act as if like they don't deserve it, right? Like they're not as good, or they're not like, oh, like, I'm okay, like, or whatever. So believe in yourself, and you actually do amazing, which is why I also do this confidence is sexy thing. Because I think a lot of small businesses owners, what their problem is that they pitch so poorly when they interact with other people, because they feel like it's bragging to be confident, right? So bragging is only bragging if you're making up something that is not true. That is fake it.
Yes.
Faking it is bragging. So if you think that you're great and your service is great and your company is great, you say that. Say, I'm great.
And men say it all the time. What's our problem?
Exactly. That is why my workshop is for women, ladies. Okay. That is why. Because guys have this, manly persona all the time. They're like, I'm amazing. I'm just amazing. Okay. Guys are not as like half as amazing as women. Okay. Like not even half. And I this is not just like a thing like, oh, you go girl, like feminine crap. This is for real. Okay. Women kick ass. I can give you an example. Women have the ability to be nurturing, sweet, caring, and at the same breath, okay? They can tell you exactly what they want, and they can kick your ass. Women can be bossy and sweet at the same fucking time. Do you think guys can do that?
Nope.
No, they can't. So that's pretty amazing, okay?
I just want to tell everyone, Sharon loves to travel. Someone's going to contact you about coming somewhere.
Oh, awesome. I'm excited about that. I love that.
Just go up north.
Going everywhere.
Barbara is a regular on our webinar, and she's from Manitoulin Island, a place I've always wanted to go to.
Where?
Manitoulin Island.
I don't know this place. Is it pretty?
It's Northern Ontario, and I've heard it's beautiful. It's right across from Sudbury. My sister lives in Sudbury. Well, halfway lives in Sudbury.
I was looking for a place to go and in Canada to find new places that I like. So
maybe it's Manitoulin Island.
It was meant to be. I'm telling you.
So I will send her your information, and
our problem is we minimize ourselves because society has created a narrative for women that we need to be humble. Humble schmumble.
Yeah, forget that.
Let me tell you something about narrative, okay? Like, guys write what women think, and that's why we think that that's what we need to say, okay? Like, society has been controlled by men for a very long time, right? Even in, like, we're talking about even like movies, books, or whatever. Guys write things that they think women want. So we think that's what women want, and if we want something different or we say things differently, we are very different than most women. That is extremely inaccurate, okay? All of you here, all of you who are kick-ass enough, who decided that you want to start a business or start something new or fix something in the world, you're all amazing. Amazing, okay? Because I bet all of you started this not because you wanted to become rich or because you want to make more money. But I bet most guys, that's why they start a business. You all have a real purpose and real inspiration. Okay? Well, yeah, I know. You want to make money also. I'm not saying you all like don't care about that. I'm just saying that's not why you started a business. Okay? Right. So just realize that you guys kick ass, and that confidence in you to believe in who you are and your story and the way you interact with people is a game changer. Because even when I talk to guys, they get intimidated, and I'm short, okay? I'm like 5'4". And when I talk to men, they act as if like I'm their boss and they're my secretary.
Yep. Or you get I would get a little bit annoyed when you go to networking events and you tell men you started a business, and it's like they will tap you on the shoulder and go, "Oh, good for you." I usually do exhale that way.
Yeah,
and,
you know what I do?
Look up like, really?
Yeah. Sometimes I tap back and like they say, "Oh, good for you." I'm just like, "Thank you, sweetie," or something like that. Just like they say, like, "Hi, baby," and I say, "Hi, gorgeous," right? Because you need to understand how this is like old news. You can make someone smaller. If your personality and your confidence is big, they can try to shove you in a box as much as they want. You're not gonna fit in there.
Yeah.
Okay. I have people coming to me when they know that I have a baby, and like he's 16 months old now, right? And I have people in like business events and stuff when I talk about the baby, they go like, "What, you have a baby? Where's your baby now?" I'm like, "With his father." With the other person who is the parent of this child. I mean, but it's not like if he's not here, then he's lost in space. Like, you should be with your kid. Well, I should do what I think is right, and you should do what you think is right.
Wow.
So the perception is like, "Oh, so you do business, so you don't have time for your family." I'm like, my kid can't see enough of my face, people. Actually, just to make a clear announcement, today the boy first word was mama.
Yay!
Not dada, or like, "Why are you going to a business event?" No, he said mama, because I spend constantly like all my time with him. So everybody can get their perception somewhere else.
I read through the lines. But yeah, you know what? This was fantastic. I feel energetic. I'm probably going to find.
I do that for people before they go to sleep. 9 o'clock, get them pumped.
I'm not going to sleep anytime soon. I have emails to answer, and I have homework to do, and I should probably find dinner because I haven't done that yet. So
priorities are important.
Yeah, I mean, Sharon, you were a priority. I mean, everyone on this webinar, priority. Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Sharon. This has been amazing. I am going to email out Sharon's details. Sharon, when is your next online workshop?
Oh, there's another one
next month. Yes, there's another one next month with Sharon. I will be sending out that information. Or if you go to the Facebook page, the Canadian Small Business Women Facebook page, the link is there to register. So register now. And yes, so I see no sleep for me building financial plans while listening to fantastic music. Great workshop. Thanks, ladies. I know music. I just got J-Lo tickets. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
You make it sound fun to build financial plans with fantastic music. You make it sound fun. You trick me.
She is Director of Joy. Remember that. Director of Joy.
God, I love that. I love it. So good.
Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic night.
Yes. Thank you for having me. It was amazing.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.